Oh, live. Okay, just tell me 5 seconds. All right, cool. To look at some stocks today. The interesting thing that I'm curious about is these home builders. I have not looked at the home builders. I know that Lennar and is it KB Homes? I think they're reporting this week. Those are some interesting numbers. We've had consumer sentiment come out. The market has kind of not known what to do over the last couple of sessions. So we're going to see where the volume is, see if we can get anything going right now. Let's get into it. So coming over, Apple is down 1%. So let me actually start with Apple before I go to the home builders, which is most interesting to me. Apple has gone on this crazy run. It's completely pulled out of here. Let's see. I want to pull up a line chart. So it is creating a little bit of a W formation there. It would be interesting to see if today or tomorrow you drop below right here. Because if you drop below here, you're probably going to pull all the way back down here. I don't know if it'll be a fast pull, but it will probably pull. So let's go back to the candles. I know that a lot of people have been talking about Apple and its run. I even have friends that are not involved in the market. They're like, Mo, what's Apple going to do? I don't know. I think it's going to pull back. But look at how wonky the daily's been. You had 2 good days of volume, which were the 2 big days of the flagpole, and your volume has basically subsided since. So I do think that you're going to go back to this volume here where you had probably over a month of less than average volume. It's just people are trying to find a place of safety right now, and Apple's that place, but we'll see how long that subsides for. Okay, I want to look at your comments here. June shorted AMD. All right, let's do AMD, and then we'll go to Dell. Actually, what do I see here? Apple's looking interesting, but pay attention to the volume. So let's go AMD. I love that you guys are this. I have 2 people that said they shorted AMD and Dell, and he said, I'm done for the day. It's awesome. Big move in the morning. Move up and down on AMD in the afternoon, in the second candle. Second candle, you're getting a little bit of a rebound right now, but I am going to guess that June, who is a season, I don't know if he's seasoned, but he's gaining experience. He comments on every single YouTube video, which is fantastic. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. But June comments on every video, and I noticed that, June. Very, very good. I bet you that he jumped in on this early candle. That you can only do if you're experienced. Only with experience do I want you coming in and doing this. Why do I say that? Because if you're experienced, you're probably trading let's just call it 3 to 7 stocks, right? And you know the behavior of these stocks. You know that maybe this does this once a week, and every time it does this, you get a big pull down, and you can go short on it or go long on it, what have you. And then it kind of sputters out. Maybe he knew that. I don't know. That's what I used to do with LABU. So very good job, June. Dell. Let's see what Dell is doing. Woo! Dell's making a nice little run. So somebody got into Dell. Again, who said this one? Because I know that somebody frequently, Ronnie, it's like, oh, there you go. I was going to say it's one of his 5 stocks. Already done day trading for the day, 2.5% on Dell. It's like clockwork every morning on Dell. Huge run up, then tank after 10 a.m. Watch for the tank right now. And I love that he said that because what did I just say? He probably has 3 to 7 stocks that he trades every day. He learns the behavior, and you just saw it in his comment. He said, I gained 2.5% on Dell, runs up huge every day, tanks at 10. We'll see what happens in the next few minutes. But if you just keep going back here, look at this, guys. This was Wednesday. Big run up, didn't really do anything after that. Even over here, big run up, didn't really do anything after that. Now, mind you guys, these are risk-on trades because he is not following stochastic, which is fine. Ronnie's been doing this for a very long time, guys, very long time. this is where his stochastic was. And many of you are probably saying, well, he's not following stochastic. How does he know that? If you can gain some kind of edge, then you can do this. I've told this story before. I wonder if this is still a ticker symbol. Let's go S. No. Okay, so this ticker symbol was SUNE. SUNE, every single morning back when I was day trading full time, was like this. Every single morning at 9:30, you would get a candle that would shoot all the way up here, and then the next candle, 9:45, would come all the way back down, and I would grab it every single day here. It didn't matter where the stochastic was. I was just following the price action. But why could I do that? Because I knew that every single day that was going to happen. It was always like a 60-cent stock, ran up to 70 cents, 80 cents, pulled all the way back down to 60 cents, and it kind of just hovered there all the time. So it's actually quite incredible to see that Ronnie is doing the same thing. Ronnie, I love it. So keep watching here. Keep watching here. And you know what else, guys? Here's what else is interesting. He said, Paul's outside the room just smiling. Here is, you get this run up. Stochastic is not there, right? Okay. Now, the good thing is he noticed that at 10 a.m. it pulls back. It's not pulling back, but he's stuck to what he knows. He knows that it runs up for the first 30 minutes, and then it's going to likely pull back. It didn't pull back today, but he still exited the position, which is fantastic. Fantastic. Great job. Great job, Ronnie. Thanks for letting me use you an example. How about that bunker shot from Bryson on Sunday? Yeah. Awesome. I heard a lot of Apple Intelligence features won't even be ready till 2025. They said that. They absolutely said that. And that's why I was looking at those 2 days of Apple Intelligence going, why are we rallying the stock? It's not even going to come out in September. September is when iOS 18 is going to come out, and none of that stuff is going to come out with the software. So it's just the market not listening to anything. Yes, not for the faint of heart. Stock pulled back 0.5% against sorry, this stupid heart is in the way. Against me off the open, but the stock does the same thing every day. And I think that's a great lesson to you guys. I'm not saying this, and Ronnie's probably not saying this. Don't do this if you don't want to. This is just a strategy that you can use. And there you go. So let's go to the home builders. Let's see what KB Homes is doing. Nothing. Let's go to Pulte, PHM. And then I want to go, Pulte might have something for you this morning. Now, let me go here. Let me see what the earnings calendar is. I can't remember if KB Homes reports tonight. Okay, so KB Homes reports tonight. And then, did somebody report? Lennar reported yesterday, so that's what I want to see. Lennar. Not a lot of movement on Lennar. Let's see how they did. Just out of pure curiosity. They beat on top and bottom line. Interesting. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see, is there any movement? It's down 3% today, but we're not getting that crazy movement. On a 15-minute chart, you don't use moving average? No, I do not. Rich Hill, great question. No, I don't use moving average. Now here, let me show this to you. So let's say, let me see if I can get some stock here with some moving averages. Okay, you know what? Let's use Lennar for example because it's stuck there. So let's look at Lennar yesterday. Lennar yesterday kind of moved up. It wasn't the greatest day trade in the world, kind of moving up, and you were kind of just running right into this area. And you noticed that you couldn't from about call it 2 o'clock. I'm just going to use whole numbers. 2 to 4 p.m. You were kind of just stuck at that level, right? Now, what was that? That's when I go over to the daily chart and just see, am I running into something? And if you notice here, this is yesterday's candle. It was running into the 50-day moving average and the 100-day moving average. So you notice that even with good volume, it couldn't penetrate that level. That's when I switch over. But I do not need to see the moving averages on my day trading chart. I just don't. You can have it there. You can have whatever you want on there. I just don't see. I don't like having the messiness of the chart, right? Okay, another arbitrage play, MTRR, nice. Like Mo says, find some solid stocks that move, study them, trade them, make money, repeat. Is the stock market closed tomorrow? Yes, it is. Market is closed tomorrow. Let's go to LABD. LABD guys, oh, beautiful. Perfect. So this is what I actually notice a lot with LABD/LABU. It gets a good run every day. It gets a good run every day, typically in the morning. Volume is still good. Yes, it's getting lighter, but this is one of those where the stochastic is not there. This kind of goes back to Ronnie's stock. Stochastic is not totally there, but if you know it, you can play it if this is something you pay attention to every day. So maybe some of you are asking how to find stocks like these. And I would recommend that you go and look at beta. So I'm going to go over here to Yahoo Finance real quick. I know a couple of you have kind of seen this before, but I just want to hit it real fast. So look at things that have not a high beta, but a beta more than 1.5. So if we go to SPY, which is the S&P 500, scroll down here to the key metrics, and you notice that the beta is 1. This is the benchmark. It just moves with the market. It is the market. Then you go to something like an AMD. Let's see what AMD is with beta. Beta is 1.69. So this if the market moves one time, S&P 500, this is going to move 1.69 times. So it's going to move a little bit faster than the market, have a little more volatility. That's what we like to see. I'll be interested to see what DELL is, because DELL seems to move. So DELL actually moves slower than the market, but I think it's because it moves in the morning and just kind of stops and just goes back to that same place and doesn't really go very far. So you don't have a lot of the movement. It doesn't look like there's a lot of movement. There's just volatility during the day. If you go to an NVIDIA will be something 1.69. Let's go to a 3-time levered ETF like an LABD. This is probably going to be a pretty high beta. This is going to be a 2.64 beta. So this moves really fast. Why? It's 3-time levered, right? It's a 3-time levered ETF. That means it's going to move really fast. And it's negative. So if you go to LABU is going to be 2.62 in the positive because it's not the inverse. So, all right. Hopefully that helps. NVIDIA, if it can get to 134. So let's go back to NVIDIA. I haven't looked at NVIDIA of late. And by of late, I mean really since last Thursday. So let's zoom out. So it's at all-time highs. Now, why do you say 134? Who made that comment? Nate, why do you say 134? And there's no right or wrong answer here. I'm just genuinely wondering, what made you say 134 as the number? Because I don't see 134. I mean, I could say 134, 135, 136 to infinity. I guess if it was me, I would look at this saying, I would want to get over the high of the day. Or what's the high of today? The high of today would be 133.52 with the caveat of good volume. And what have you had since the split, which is extremely weird? Look at the volume. You haven't touched average volume one day. As a matter of fact, you basically got to 75% of average volume. You haven't even got up here towards this yellow line, which is not the purpose of the split, but yeah, it's interesting. Okay. Let's see. It'd be nice if you could filter stocks for engulfing candlesticks on TradingView. That would be nice. Oh, Nate, day trade. Okay, engulf the previous resistance. So that might make sense. Let's go NVIDIA. 130. Even then, I would just say take out the high. I would say take out the high. Take out up here and see if you can push through. I don't like that wick at the bottom. But if the volume stays consistent up here, that wick at the bottom won't bother me. Let me pull up my watch list and go through this. Apple kind of sputtered out. NVIDIA, we just talked about. Tesla, I don't really see a lot going on. Too many wicks on Meta. Palantir, too many wicks. Amazon is turning around. What's the banks doing? So the banks had a really nice run this morning. Now they're starting to reverse. Let's go over here and see if we can actually find something. Bank of America. Let's go. I don't see anything with the banks. KB, Home Depot, Walmart, Beazer. Beazer's interesting. Beazer's interesting here because if I take out the low here, I will enter Beazer, okay? So the low here is 28.29. So let me go, and I'm actually going to put an advanced order on this one, okay? So Beazer Homes, let's see. All right, Beazer Homes, BZH. I'm just gonna go 20. I'm gonna go 28, 28. Why not? 28, 28 takes out the low of the day. Let's see what happens. Now you might be saying, well, that's hard to come by. There's not a lot of volume. I generally have that rule, guys, where I like seeing 1 million shares traded per day. For some reason, Beazer, even with 335 shares traded per day, it's not super volatile. It's not super crazy. This is one of my 5 stocks that I like. Now, if it was crazy volatile, and it would be a different story, but it just never is. It's no more volatile than Pulte or KB Homes or Lennar or anything like that. So I do kind of break my own rule with that one because I've been following Beazer forever. So if Beazer can take out this low and get to 28.28, my order will execute for me there. So that is Beazer. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go to Zim. Wow, Zim is stuck. What is Zim stuck at? Because I can't remember who was trading this one. Oh, it's being sucked up to the 25-day moving average. It does not want to leave that 25. Even this big day back here, this was last week, it pulled back hard. It rebounded right back up, and you can actually see the trajectory creeping back to the 25. The volume is not there to push it down. But, yeah, okay, let's go. Lowe's. Google, nothing really. AMD kind of stopped, so good job already on that AMD one, June. Let's go Costco. Not seeing a lot on Costco. Now let's go to some other, let me go to my live show, because I know we were looking at SLM. I know these weren't day trades we were looking at, but CCL is typically a good one. So I'm going to go here and pull up those 3 I just did, CCL. And let me do both charts just to make sure. So those of you that like trading CCL, June 25th, you have about a week before earnings, but make sure you are aware that earnings are coming up. AMD, okay, AMD is getting interesting. So, this could actually, I'm going to put a tracker share on this one for now. You know what? Forget a tracker share. I'm going to put an advanced order here. I'm going to put an advanced order on AMD to go short on it, and I'm going to go 153.99, okay? 153.99, and I'll explain that in a second. Put this order in here. And then this is going to be, okay, there we go. All right, so here's the reason. Let's go through this. So I'm going to start on this chart, and I'm going to go to the long-term chart after this. What do I like that I'm seeing here? Number one, we're trying to break away from that 50-day moving average, right? Number two, I want to get below the wick from yesterday, the bottom of the wick, and also this one right over here. So this is probably a month ago. This is yesterday, and they're kind of that same level. I want to drop below that level. So the low of this wick was 159. Sorry. I want to go below. Hold on. What is this one? 154.70. I might move my advanced order, to be honest with you. Let me see here. Let me go to the long-term chart. There's just too much junk on these. That's why I like long-term trading. There's just too much stuff. So the low here was 154. Yeah, so the low was 154.14 on this candle. 154.14. That's why I'm gonna stick with that 153.99. It just gives me enough room to break below. So basically what I want to see here is an engulfing candlestick. It's probably not going to happen today. Maybe it will. That goes like this and breaks down because one, I have a gap to fill there. Two, I can probably get to that level probably somewhere in here. And then hopefully I can just get all the way down here. So my 147.94, 145, and then 141 in an ideal world that we'll get to. So that's the advanced order on AMD. I hope it happens. Let's see what it's doing over here. I think it was just reversing on us. This is just kind of how you can zoom in and see what's going on for the day. 154.50 is the low of today. So it really needs to push down there a little bit, but I like AMD. Now let's go to SLM, but I want to see SLM over here. Why did we like this one? I don't like it anymore. I can't remember. Oh, I liked it because of the trend. But I don't foresee anything happening here. I'm actually just going to get rid of SLM over here. Okay? So SLM is going to go bye-bye. All right, let's see what else we have. MU gap up and go today. Let me see the gap first. Okay, so it gapped up hard today. Let's see what we have. This is all-time high. Yeah, all-time highs on Micron. Be careful here. Now, the nice thing is you are getting fantastic volume. The thing that sucks is that you have earnings coming up. Let's see when those earnings are. They actually look kind of far away. 8 days. Eight real days, not market days. I assume with this type of volume that you're getting, you could very easily do what Apple did and just kind of come up here and just go like that. Now, see if the W forms. If the W doesn't form, it's going to pull back down pretty quickly. But be careful of that earnings that are coming up. Hey Mo, in day trading, in which scenarios is it okay to get into a trade before the red line crosses the honestly, it's experience. I would never actually say to a new person or a person that's not comfortable or a person that doesn't trade 5 stocks over and over to get into a trade before the red line crosses over. That is not something that I would endorse. If you do it because you are an avid day trader that sits there every day, you have your 2, 3, 4 stocks that you know the behavior of, and that you do it on a repeated basis, then you can go ahead and do it, in my opinion. But I would never. I'm not here to teach that. I'm here to tell you that you can do that, but it's not something that I've never really done that outside of that SUNE. I just never have. I've usually followed the trend. Expensive, but SMCI is setting up for a day trade. Let me see. SMCI. Yeah, it is setting up for a nice day trade. Let me see over here because I'm seeing wicks, so I want to see what we got going on. You're going into an ugly face. That's probably what's going on here. So I probably wouldn't. I mean, you can, but I don't like that wick that's happening. I would actually more look at this to trade it down back to the 100. And the 100 is 864, so you could actually probably trade it to like here. That's what I would do. I wouldn't look at it from a day trade. I actually like this one. SMCI. Let me add this to here. Okay. I like that one. Now, I like this one if it breaks. If it doesn't do what I think it's going to do, then I don't like it. But it's one to pay attention to, okay? All right. Let's go back to what we were doing over here. That was Beezer. Oops. Beezer. Let's see what's happening with Beezer. So the hope was that Beezer was going to break down here. Still entirely possible. Look where the trend is. This is just chilling out, doing nothing. You have 1,500 trades going on. This one here was about 3,000 trades. So you have half of the volume of the day on average. So I'm not worried that this is going to keep going. It's not going to go like this. It's just going to sputter out here at some point. Hopefully it breaks down and executes my advanced order. That's what I'm looking for there. I like how you said watch XLF on the 100. Oh, let's go back to that. Yeah, XLF on the 100. So my whole comment last week was banks lead the market, right? Banks lead the market, guys. If you go back in history, banks always lead the market. And I said, this market is going to do, this is what's going to happen with the market. I said this back on Thursday, maybe it was Tuesday. I don't know what day it was. It was Tuesday or Thursday of last week. And I said, if XLF breaks below the 100-day moving average and continues this way, you are going to get a big pullback in the stock market. That didn't happen. I said if it bounces off the 100 and goes higher, you're probably going to just keep going to all-time highs. And that's exactly what happened. This is going to happen before the market does because the banks drive where the market goes. That's why I always pay attention to XLF. You could pay attention to KRE if you want because of the regional banks, but XLF is a big thing. So hedge funds make their decisions at the 100-day moving average, especially the algorithmic funds, which are your funds that just trade based off of computers. Those are going to make a big decision at the 100-day moving average, whether they sell short or they go long. Clearly, everything's starting to go long because we're rebounding back over. So I would encourage you all to continue to pay attention to XLF, check it every morning, and make sure you don't drop below the 100. If you drop below the 100-day moving average, what does that tell you? That's a great question. I'm sure you were all wondering that. Go ahead and look for a lot of tech shorts. That's what I would tell you to do. Go and look at tech shorts and try to short them down to their next support level. That's probably where the market's going to go. Then it'll bounce off that, and it'll probably go to all-time highs because stocks only go up. All right. Late to the party. Did you cover Tesla? I mean, I did not, but I can. There's nothing going on with Tesla. Which is surprising to me because of this pay package thing that happened. So, yeah, I'm actually shocked that Tesla isn't up here or down here. I'm actually shocked with the news of this $56 billion pay package. But it's just consolidating, and it's sitting above the 100-day moving average. So with that being said, there's nothing to do. There's just not. And even on the day trade, you can see that just nothing's going on. People are rather unsure. HPE. Whoa. Oh, Hewlett Packard. Okay. Who said this one? I don't recognize this name. Oh, Prob. Yeah, I recognize the name. Good job, Prob. Very nice. Beautiful. If you got into this, Prob, very good. You could have entered in the last candle. I love what we're seeing here. Not only have you had great volume all day, but you had really good volume in the 10-15 candle, which kind of sent this thing even higher, and you're getting great volume right now. I wish you would have said this one a little bit earlier. Potential Moderna short if it engulfs too many wicks. All right, let's go. I haven't looked at Moderna in so long. Ooh, maybe I should. Moderna with the ugly face. Actually, you have an ugly face. Look at this. I'm gonna draw in two things. Ugly face there, and a head and shoulders pattern also. So you have like two things that are really pushing you down here. Now, Moderna, do they have any drugs anymore? That's the question. And the reason I'm asking that is because we can definitely see this thing pull back to real lows. Let's go. You can see the pullback that already happened on Moderna. Big run up, big pullback. Give me a second here to draw some lines in. Just want to see what our potential is. So that's okay. That kind of goes to there. Consolidation in there. Actually, if you go to big run up. When is earnings? August 1st. Plenty of time. I'm going to put a tracker share here on Moderna short. So Moderna short, this is really nice. I'm gonna get into this one with a tracker. mRNA. I'll just execute the order now. Okay. All right, there we go. So the tracker is on mRNA, and here's the hope. The reason I put the tracker, we're not in the sweet spot yet. I like to see red and yellow in the sweet spot for 3 days. And then I want to see some movement down, then the engulfing candlestick that happens after the 3 days in the sweet spot. That's when I'll add to my position. But I love what I'm seeing with Moderna right now. The potential is there. The potential is absolutely there. And this thing can move down a lot. This thing can move down. Let's see. I mean, this thing can move. Even if it moves down, I think at a minimum, it'll go to 115. Minimum. Maybe 122. Either way, it's a nice move for not a lot of risk. That's the point here, okay? So we have three things that we're looking at right now. All right, DELL is up 7.2% so far. So if I was a DELL person, let me go here. If I was a DELL person, what would I be looking at? I would be looking at this thing to pull all the way back down to here. So, and not from this perspective, but from a day trading perspective. So if I was looking at DELL, getting all excited about DELL, I would be saying, okay, maybe I missed this run. All right, it's up 7%, whatever. I would be saying, okay, at some point this is going to turn back down because that's just kind of what DELL does. That's why its beta is so low. So look to capture that back down. Ronnie, I would encourage you to capture that thing back down as soon as it sets up for that. Okay. AXP 1-day chart. I'm assuming you mean the daily. I haven't looked at AXP for a minute. Now, we have a lot of ugly faces in here. So there's an ugly face here, and what happened? Boom. Get an ugly face here. It took some time, but it pulled back. It's probably this one that's doing the work. And here you go. You have another small ugly face developing. Man, look at this, guys. This is another one. So I'm not gonna put a tracker share on this one because I like the other one more, but I'm gonna put AXP here on my watch list, and I'm gonna move it all the way to the top because that is my favorite one right now. Why? It's setting up for a long-term trade. It has an ugly face, and it's proven that when it gets an ugly face, it can certainly start falling. Do I see any ugly faces in here? Not really. I guess this one, but it went higher. Let's go back to the last time that AXP was in a downtrend. It's been quite some time. Hey, let's see. Let's see what happens with American Express, okay? Good call, whoever said that one. Who said that one? The trend line, very nice. Anything good long term? Well, the good long term is Moderna. Speaking of Moderna, I'm going to add that here. Moderna. Move that to, actually, I'll put that first. And then, there we go. CCL I'm not touching until after earnings. AMD is there. So these are my three right now that I'm looking for. This one, I don't know if AMD is actually going to do anything, but we'll see. We'll see. I would really like this thing to break down and just continue to be a dog stock. Okay. What's up, Jamie? I remember the good old days when I used to read the first few words in my comment. Now he reads the whole thing. I stepped away. Do you mind showing the Moderna chart? Yeah. Moderna chart. It's breaking down really, really nicely. It has that ugly face. It has a nice engulfing candle today. Now, I bet if you wanted to, somebody, you could probably come over here and do, if you could start a swing trade if you want. I don't like the volume, but you could probably start a swing trade. I'm looking at it from a long-term perspective. I want to see, Zach, red line in the sweet spot, which it is, yellow line in the sweet spot for 3 days, both of them together, 3 days. Then I get my engulfing candlestick whenever we have the 3 days. Then I can add to it, and it could probably go down to 122, 132, I'm sorry, 122, 112, 110, somewhere in there. I'm quite excited for the Moderna one. I think it's going to break down pretty nicely. It's just a matter of when, I guess. All right. What else do we have? Any other questions that you guys have? Any other questions you guys have? So I want to show the earnings calendar real quick because you want to pay attention to KB Homes today. Pay attention to KB Homes today, guys. And I think it's Thursday. Let me see. Let me just make sure. And then Thursday, we'll talk about this one if you're in the community. Darden. I want to pay attention to Darden because Darden is restaurants. Let's see where things are going. Let's see if that consumer sentiment starts to shake the market up a little bit. We'll see, but keep following those banks. That'll give you all the answers you need. All right? So just to go one more time, AMD 153, what did I put it at? 99. 153.99 is where I want that thing to execute. American Express, just paying close attention to it. Moderna in on the tracker share. What was my price here? Go to my orders. 132.60. That's just a tracker share, guys. So it's not anything special here. The idea is that we get 3 days in the sweet spot. That's the big thing that I'm looking for right now. Okay. You look at Tesla. Yep, I looked at Tesla. The trend hasn't changed. Okay, let's go swing trade Tesla. You did it yesterday. This is the time to swing trade Tesla, not go long term. Yeah. So you swung it up. That's a risky swing, but okay. The only reason I say it's risky is because you're basically attached to the 100-day moving average. You're probably going to pull back down to the 100. Not a bad thing, but what is this? 2 hours ago. Elon Musk lures employees with stock awards after his big payout. That's awesome. All right. Any final questions, guys? Anything that you guys have? If you're not in the Patreon community yet, join it. It's in the link below, $25 a month right now. We will go live again on Thursday, but it's only for the community. You have access to me, access to all the great traders in there, and you see how many there are. Ronnie making great trades today. Who else made a great trade today? I remember, Derek set up with that SMCI. So who grabbed NVIDIA this morning? Was that June? Yeah, and June got NVIDIA this morning. Nate saw LABD setting up. Yep, perfect. Andy talks about Bryson's bunker shot. SoFi at the edge. At the edge. See what the week brings with that. Let's check. Let's see what we got going on with SoFi. At the edge. At the edge of what? Oh, okay. He's talking about it sitting at a support level. So basically, let's zoom out as far as we can. So basically what he's saying is that we are sitting at this big, big, big support level. You can see it here. You can see it here. You can see it here. You can see all up in here. Peak there, peak there. There. It's just, so when he's saying it's at the edge, he's saying this is either primed to break or creep up a little bit. It's more primed to break. But honestly, when July 30th, you got plenty of time before earnings. Yeah, all right. I'm in SoFi short. Okay, be careful with that SoFi short because you can get hung up and just bounce right off of that level that I just drew. And that, who said it? Who said it? And that Rick said. So, yeah, okay. It broke yesterday, but it rebounded. And I think that's going to happen quite a bit, to be honest with you. I think you're going to get a lot of those bounces off of that support level until it gets enough volume to actually break through and push down. So, okay. All right, guys. That's it. That's all I got. We'll keep paying attention to those stocks that I am following right now and that I have advanced orders on, and we'll follow up with you guys on Thursday. If you have any questions in the meantime, comment on the videos, chat in the community, on the Patreon community, subscribe here. I'll see you guys next time.